of sorts. Are you up to date on the Hawk Tour podcast? Talk Tour?
No. What's new?
Not sure.
Have you been listening?
Yeah.
But you're not sure what's new?
You'd get it if you'd listen to it.
Oh, okay. I won't.
I think you should. I wish I had the ability to like turn into a demon. Just so in that moment I could do that.
What do you like become an actual demon?
Yeah. Like
And-
a monster.
What, for like a moment and just go
Just
back?
for like a moment.
Like a punchline?
Yeah. And then just instantly morph back. And just
How long
change
do you
the
think
topic.
it would take something like that to be tiring? You know?
10 episodes you could get out of that.
10?
Is that it? Then it would be boring.
Yeah.
Because all the clips would be from the first 10. Like, wow, this is crazy.
And then
he's
you just
back, he's
leave
doing
it a year
again.
and then it'll be back in it again in the algorithm.
Yeah.
And, like, get a bunch of new people. Yeah.
Do you just push it too far? Oh, it's that guy who can turn into a demon, turning into a demon again.
Yeah.
When's he going to try something else?
So, I've got a new one of those types of guys.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, I don't have a problem with the... Like, I showed you the video. It's really funny. It's this guy who's, like...
The eye bulge.
No, he rocks. His one thing works. It always works. That's one guy who's got his one thing, and he can have that one thing.
Okay.
If you know, you know. No, I'm talking about the guy who's like 30 baby bells, 10,000 grams of protein.
When
Like,
he eats them.
This is yeah. I showed you the one where he eats I think it was eggs.
Mm.
He cooks like 20 eggs, and then just sits and eats them. And his like parents are there, and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
But he does it. He just does that. That is his content. Like the next one will be eating an entire chicken, but not like a petty.
It's kind of like a more chilled out LA Beast sort of thing.
Yeah, but I mean, he legit did the baby bell thing, and then it just like speeds through him eating. And it's like when I see
Gluttony.
one, it's like this fire.
You like it.
Yeah, I love it.
Mm.
And then I scroll a couple more times, see some Vsauce, see some bull. And then he's back eating like snails or something this time. I mean, it wouldn't be snails.
I haven't tried snails yet.
Something normal.
Something normal, something not French.
Yeah.
Ideally.
Yeah.
You know.
Did you know France created nationalism?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How's that measured?
What do you mean?
What are you talking
They
about?
invented it.
Did they?
Yeah, it didn't exist before them.
Nationalism is in loving one's own country.
Yeah, or even identifying with it.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know much about French history, if I'm being honest.
Come.
You want to kill them?
Some.
Good answer.
No. No, I felt like such a dick. So I went to France last summer. No, this summer. And everyone I interacted with, bar maybe like 2, which was a minority when I was there.
2? Okay.
Yeah,
That's
this
still
was
more
south
than...
of France, like kind of out, like not really a touristy place.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't speak French. And they were really nice.
So you had to take
Really nice
some of your
people,
prejudice back.
And I was like, maybe I'm the like what France
Maybe
or
I'm
England,
the problem.
France or England has to be the bad one. It's one of the two on the world stage. It's France is the shit or England is the shit. And from my experience in the south of France,
I think this is tough.
yeah, because I
think
feel
it's
like
closer than you think.
if I went to the north of England, I'd be like, oh, this is fire,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But
Yeah. There's strong arguments on both sides I can see for which is worse.
Yeah. I mean, maybe people should start having rap battles in the comments.
Yeah, did they ever do that one? England versus France rap battle.
Epic rack battle.
Epic. An epically rapped battle.
An epic ras backle. Bapple.
Back in my day, they did normal epic rap battles of history.
Yeah, like Darth Vader versus Heisenberg.
Before things went woke. Back when
Now it's like a Lara
JFK
Croft.
was allowed to debate.
JFK?
Yeah. Was allowed to debate. You know?
Was allowed to debate?
Yeah, like debate the guy from Prometheus or whatever.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Isn't that
JFK, the president who got killed.
Yeah. Isn't that what they do on that channel? Like, JFK,
Oh,
rap battles,
right.
the Prometheus guy.
Right, yeah. I see what you're saying.
JFK versus Space Jockey rap battle, epically. Does that make sense now?
Reel it back there. What were you saying about that? Back when that could happen?
Well, okay, let's go way back to basics. Did that happen?
Maybe.
Is that a video that exists?
Probably.
Good. Good.
You want more of that?
Yes. Go back to when things weren't so, you know. When you couldn't say anything, when you couldn't have the Prometheus guy debating JFK or whatever. Who would make a better Joe Rogan guest, JFK or the Prometheus space jockey?
Why are you calling him a space jockey?
That's what he is, right?
Does he like ride a horse?
Oh, do you not know this? Because I guess I'm old enough to be an Alien fan pre-Prometheus, where that thing that's in the original Alien was just known as the space jockey. That's what it was called. You know, that weird thing that they just walk by and are like, what? And
The spaceship?
When they go into the spaceship and there's that thing that looks like in that huge set, in that huge room. It was known as the space jockey.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh God. Because Jesus died.
Yeah, but we didn't know that it was just a giant dude.
Yeah, just God.
God.
It was a guy wearing a helmet.
We didn't know that the space jockeys were just giant dudes.
Right.
Then. So now they're the engineers, a la space jockeys,
A la God.
a la Jesus.
Ervo.
Hence, I keep seeing those in my algorithm, like 1 hour alien lore explained. Kill me. I'd rather be killed than watch that video. I'm serious.
I don't know. I feel like you don't need an hour.
For alien lore?
Yeah, God turns out to be an alien and makes people.
No, do you agree with me on this? That I don't know how we've gone to Alien at the start of this, but whatever. Let's roll with it.
Okay.
Do you agree with me that with Alien as a property, delving into that whole universe and explaining where all of it comes from and how it works ruins the original point of it in the same way that, like...
You don't know what his point was?
In the same way that Mass Effect 3 did with the Reapers. Over explaining it, and it's like, oh, this cosmic horror is not scary anymore.
This might be a hot take.
What? Don't give me that look.
The alien lore for where the aliens came from.
Yeah.
Better than the Reaper lore.
Oh, we're getting in the weeds. Yeah, but both suck.
Yeah. But the alien lore only sucks. The Reaper lore fucking eats chungus.
Bro, are you forgetting how bad, like, in Covenant, when they explain...
Yeah, Covenant sucks and shit or whatever, but...
No, but they explained that it was David the robot who made the first alien. Like, he made it. So it's not like a question mark anymore. It was David the robot who made the alien from Alien. That is worse.
Does that happen?
Yes, do you not remember that? And then it just turns into Alien for the last, like, 20 minutes. Where the new Ripley is chased by an alien from Alien.
That doesn't happen.
Bro, that happens.
I thought he
Do you
just
remember he
spread
tricks
them.
that guy who's the blue man from Watchmen, who's like religious. He tricks him into a room and is like, look, here's the first alien egg that I made. I'm a robot.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like a robot making the alien, and it's like closing this loop. That's
why
worse.
is there an alien at the end of Prometheus then?
There isn't. That's like a proto thing.
Yeah, but like
Because
it was coming out of an engineer.
Yeah.
So I assume that's why it looked different.
Yeah. But it also wasn't a facehugger that we know. It was one of the worms or something that had been mutated by the goo. It didn't hatch out of an egg.
There weren't eggs, were there?
No. Just goo.
Sorry, I keep knocking
Just
the
goo.
mic. Just goo.
Yeah.
But that seems like a de-evolution. Because like the worms, or do you remember they breathe in like spores in Covenant?
In Covenant, yeah.
It's like what? So it's just like a microbe virus that can.
Yeah, that's way
one-
more advanced, isn't it, than an egg? Like as far
Yeah.
as like
That
transmitting.
then has to jump on your face to then
Yeah.
nut in your stomach to make an alien grow and then
Yeah.
burst out. Why not just have the thing that like you breathe in, kills you, and then kills a bunch of other guys?
Yeah. Just another reason why that film sucks.
Yeah, logically.
So do you take
it's
it back
pretty
then?
No.
Mass Effect.
No, Mass
It's-
Effect 3 because
No, I think that's worse than Mass Effect 3. At
no,
least,
I disagree. I disagree because
at least
Mass
there's some
Effect 3
mystery with Mass Effect 3 now.
Mass Effect 3. What?
There is, because at least it's like there's some with the squids, the mind control squids. At least that's a question mark. More.
No, like you meet them and it's like, by the way, it was us. We've been here this whole time, just doing nothing.
Hiding, right? There's some reason.
For
frightened.
forever.
Yeah.
For like such a ridiculous amount of time, and then they just like chat, and you can convince them to come and help. It's like
Yeah.
it's
weird
f***ing
to introduce
stupid.
something like that.
It's
Yeah.
really fucking dumb. No, never introduce something like that. It doesn't work. It's like embarrassingly.
Both are those. My point.
No, but the thing is with Alien is that like the lore isn't like I don't need the lore to give a shit. All Mass Effect is lore. Like it's all like the whole
Yeah.
thing is like you go and ask an alien how their reproductive organs work.
Mhm.
Tell me about your reproductive
Yeah.
system.
But there was also part of it early on was like the cosmic horror side of it. When that thing, when a Reaper speaks to you, there's something imposing about it because of like, oh, we can't even comprehend the threat that you are. And once you can comprehend the incomprehensible threat, then it's not scary anymore on like a cosmic level. It's more like, oh, you're tangible now. Like you're not, you hear what I'm saying?
Mm.
And the same applies to the alien, which like, there's one line in the original Alien where Ian Holm says just something like, it's the perfect life form.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
You could argue Aliens kind of with that. Because dudes be
Yeah.
popping them like crazy. I just don't think it's as important. Like in Alien,
But
like
my point
it's
is the
scary
mystery.
on its own. Like the alien is scary.
But I think
Well,
it
no
takes
matter
some of the
where
scariness away, though.
It does, but there's more to it than just that.
Yeah.
You know. Whereas the whole plot of the Mass Effect trilogy turning out to be
But you could say that about the alien, though, couldn't you? So the whole time
because-
the alien was
because-
actually
because Alien ends, movie tick done. I can watch that and be like, this is the only part of like the lore.
right.
Like I can watch that and experience a full story. I don't need anything else. I play Mass Effect 1. The whole game is like, I'm just the first guy, and like there's loads more coming.
Mm-hmm.
There's like stuff happening in the future. Mass Effect 2, well, shit's about to get crazy, man. It's
Oh,
like
no way,
they're not
man.
complete stories, and then when it is completed, it's dick. That's why I hate Mass Effect 3 so much.
Yeah. I'm with you, brother. And there's a full video on the channel if you want to
Yeah,
really
like
long
a
Mass Effect 3
5-hour video. Obviously, it wasn't long enough.
Yeah. Well, good afternoon, morning, evening, or night, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Broadcast number 25. I'm your host Alex, joined by Jim, and I guess Billy for this moment. Burping, fishy, beanie Billy. I have a cat that eats beans, everybody.
Bean-eating Bill.
Before we get too deep into the show, let me shout out the Jar Media patrons over at the Patreon. Or should I say Patreons? Or whatever,
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? They make the audio version of the show possible. They get those Geek Cave sponsorships, and features and mentions. And of course, Jar After Hours is on there. The little warming segments we record right before we do these main shows that you can catch over on the Patreon exclusively. There's also the Jar Media group chat. That's another Patreon little perk there, which I pluck subjects and items of conversation from when necessary. Hello, Billy. Beanley. Don't like that, Beanley.
Beanley says hello, friend.
Right. Before we just get properly into this, go to topics that I've brought, things I want to talk about, we've got to do housekeeping. Clean up those conversations from the previous week. Which there are a few to get to, like this one. From Leroy and Stitch. I guess we were Billy talking about Transformers for some reason, briefly in the last episode.
The Skibbity toilet.
Oh yeah, because of Michael Bay's Skibbity movie or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
No, our hopes and thoughts and dreams for that, and we asked for some input from a Transformer Jarling, because then we just figured there must be at least one. We've wound up with two, at least, that I've screenshot here, writing in. Transformers Jarling 2 here. Answering how a Cybertronian is born is not a simple question. Further complicated because it's different depending on what series or continuity. So I guess we're talking about how Transformers born?
Yeah.
How they gave birth or whatever. In the Michael Bay films, they can be hatched from eggs. In the early media, they usually just built like a regular robot, which means in theory you could build your own Transformer. The majority of them were created in factories by a mysterious, four-faced ancient alien called Quintessence. In some media, the original Transformers were created by the god Primus, who after making them sacrificed his body to become the planet Cybertron. And then these Transformers built more, which were brought to life by the ancient supercomputer Vector Sigma. Or an artifact called the Leadership Matrix. But I believe the generally accepted modern interpretation of how Transformers reproduce is that they come from something called a protoform, which is basically a liquid metal automaton that emerges from inside of the planet Cybertron. The planet itself gives the protoforms a spark, which is like their soul or life essence. Then they quickly form into a fully grown intelligent transformer that can transform and speak fluently.
Why did they say modern interpretations?
Because it's been around forever, bro.
Yeah, but as if it's like a religion.
It sounds like it. This is really reminding me of like Bionicle people. It's similar.
Wow,
it's similarly as deep.
No, that makes sense, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
There's definitely crossover there.
There is.
Yeah.
A huge one. And Abe the musician said Transformer Jarling here. I guess I read Transformer 2 Jarling first. But they have more upvotes than this one, so whatever. Transformers don't actually mate, but how they reproduce depends on the continuity. Okay, we're getting another source confirming this then. The most commonly seen method is that they start as empty bodies called protoforms, which are then infused with a spark, essentially their heart and soul.
The all-spark.
The spark comes from the planet itself, with the protoforms either being constructed by other Transformers or can be naturally occurring. Other continuities shown them originally being built by an alien race as workers and war machines reproducing asexually by budding, and being made from a magic space cube called the Allspark. To finish off, my question is, if you were a Transformer, what would you turn into? Whether it be a vehicle, animal, or something else entirely. Bear and rock on. Wow.
Mountain.
Budding. That'd be cool, yeah. Just turn into like a little rock.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty badass.
I'd be a big mountain.
What would be like a cool thing to transform, like a machine? Something with wheels.
A sewing machine
Ooh.
with wheels.
Sort of like an Xbox. Yeah,
A conveyor belt.
I transform into a PSP.
Mm.
PS Vita. Even rarer.
Mm. I transform into a 4090 RCX.
And then I'll sell myself on eBay and then run back and sell myself again.
Shit, that's a good idea.
A little scam bot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those movies
Scam bot.
I love Transformers. They're so bloody. Well, enough Transformers because we've got to address the elephant in the room. The
elephant.
The clickbaiting accusations, I guess. Billy Punton 8867 says, you put house in the title and didn't expect us to see the great James House sitting back beside you in all his glory.
Oh, shit.
He's the only house that matters. Call him James Home. And Morgan Freeman 2102 said, you knew exactly what you were doing with that title.
I didn't even...
I thought it was actually quite organic how that title came about.
Yeah. I mean, I have genuinely been watching House.
And Me Desperate Housewives. Both just happen to have house in the title.
Yeah.
But there's always a
I
chance
didn't
that
realise
we're
that
lying.
many people knew James's last name.
Yeah. James
creepy.
Home. James Home. Mick Saladin said, a lust for numbered titles is very bourgeoisie.
Oh, wait. Huh? A lust for...
For numbered titles. Like we did way back when on this show, when it had numbers.
So people who want the numbered titles are the bourgeoisie.
That's what Mick was saying.
Okay. Alright.
Grammy James says, me and Alex are on a Grammy name basis. Yeah, you wanna know why? Grammy is a new one. Someone I haven't seen before.
Grammy.
Grammy.
Okay.
Grammy James. There's like a...
Grammy James?
Yeah. This is a jarling that kind of cropped up a few months ago and has been one of the most intense jarlings yet.
Okay.
He's got ideas. Countless ideas. He's like writing episodes for us. He's making thumbnails for us. He wants he wants us to do the Hawk tours. Do you remember this? We wanted to make like a sequel to Hot Girl Booty Spider-Man.
Right,
Something
yeah.
like a Hawk tour bullshit. He's got it all modeled out. So that's why Grammy's on a first name basis. Rock on. This one comes from the group chat over on Patreon. Streets made me despicable, but my money still grew. Says, do you foresee a world beyond the streaming wars? Is one going to ever win and just own every movie and TV show? I guess I never thought about an endgame. Are they thinking about that? This ends when we have it all.
I think Disney was thinking that. And then they released Endgame. And they were like, oh shit. We've got nothing now.
Yeah. But surely that would inspire them to just buy more things. Because then it's like, then we can have something.
But everything they get, they just like shit all over.
Yeah. But if you own everything and then there's nothing else.
There'll be a new thing then. That'll get bought up. It's like a black hole really far away.
Disney?
Yeah. It's like, I can have shit here, but it's being sucked. You know?
It's being sucked. And then 100 years and then the suck lets up. Just a little bit. And then you can get your Winnie the
Hawking
Pooh
radiation.
And you can get your Winnie the Pooh horror movies and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That's really
yeah.
awesome. really badass sort of thing. Speaking of badass, Jan Van Dorst 808 says, Your reference to Pow Pow by LCD Sound System did not go unnoticed, Alex.
You didn't do that.
No, I didn't. I agree with you. They are lying. So I bring it up to say,
liar.
You're lying, and you need to probably get your head checked because that didn't happen. Yeah, I'll say.
What a liar.
But what wasn't a lie was we went to Forwards Festival.
We did.
It was a few weeks ago now. Something happened and I just got distracted, okay? And I forgot to mention
You got lightning struck.
Yeah, there were a few things I didn't do that I normally do. Like, I think there were 3 jar people that bumped into us there. But I didn't write any of their names down. Well, one I think I wrote down. Indigo. Does that ring a bell? Indigo? I think that was the one who was like, oh, my brother listens a lot. Can I get a picture with you guys for my brother? And then there was these 2 dudes as well.
Whose names I did ask.
Yeah, because they recognized you and were like talking to you, and then I came out from the toilet.
Yeah, well, I'd just come out from the toilet and I had the like slimy, sticky festival fingers from the slimy, sticky alcohol gel.
Yeah.
That if you're smart, you gel that stuff, like wash your hands, but make sure you keep plenty on your hands. Then you've got little licky.
I wonder where you're going with that.
To cheap drinks. But yeah. No, really pleasant experiences. And then obviously the crazy moment when LCD were like, Jar Media's here, everybody. get up on stage here. And then we fucking rocked out.
Pow, 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 pow.
Oh, I want.
Yeah. It was a good festival though, bro.
It was a really good festival.
We saw Underworld again. I wasn't really planning. I've never seen a band twice in 1 year. I don't think. So that was cool. Kind of a different vibe, different set though. Different crowd.
Yeah, but they got the crowd turned.
They did get the crowd.
I don't know if people say that anymore.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. What does that mean?
Turned?
No, I'm joking. I'm just acting like I don't know what you're talking about.
What's turned then, Alex? Tell me what turned is. No, people were hyped. People like they got the crowd bussing.
Because before that was a bit scary because it was like raining.
Yeah, and lightninging.
And this woman was like, I'm so sorry, I've got to come off stage now because it's dangerous. I don't want to die.
She was being forced off stage by
I got a cool
Zeus.
picture of it, yeah. Sorry, Zeus is interrupting for a moment. And yeah. So that was fire. Wanted to shout out that event. Yeah, it would have become fire if someone had an umbrella tall enough. Or something. So, Ray, I got something to share with you.
Bullshit.
There was...
Is it Deadpool and Wolverine now on streaming services?
No.
Okay.
It's a hate thread about me I found on Twitter. Well, I didn't find it. Someone from Jar sent me it.
Really?
And it's interesting. Because, of course, it's on X, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is being spoken about is, like, whatever. It's the most obvious joke. I remember seeing jokes like this in, like, 2016 on 4chan. Like, I'll show you the original one, for example. Yeah, so your face there, for those listening, was a little bit of a... Huh?
Wait, what? Is this genuine?
This is real.
No, I mean, like, is the person, like, doing a joke?
It's like, I guess best case is like an edgy joke, right?
I mean, I don't know how to read it.
Well, there's just put a pin in that then and look at the biggest the biggest reply right now. I don't know. There's some of this stuff I'm just not gonna be able to show because of the material that it is joking. But I suppose we can kind of loosely describe the biggest reply. Think about this. This being the IHE face with a Star of David kind of placed over it. Bro.
Oh my god.
Why is Twitter 4chan now? This is 4chan. Like this is 4chan. Like it's the richest man in the world owns the platform that hosts this shit. But there's more though. As far as like crazy replies. Makes sense considering his facial structure.
What? Wait, what does that mean? Which, like, do they mean the
cartoon?
The cartoon, or do they mean actually? Yeah, like, do they think you look like that?
Like, I don't even like know what to say. What? Why is the?
I mean, what are they saying?
Am I just like unaware that is that kind of stuff like normal on Instagram, on Facebook, like places I don't go, and like that's why it's surprising me? What platform is that?
Those spaces are more like a rat on a train track, just getting obliterated, you know. Twitter's a bit more.
It's just like
hateful.
When the punchline is always anti-Semitism.
But what? Like what? But what are they saying? Is it a joke? I don't understand the joke. If it's a joke,
which part?
Both jokes. I mean, I hate everything except like when have you ever gone anywhere near any of those topics?
Never. I guess that's the joke. Is like like if you take the concept to its logical extreme, you can make a joke about that sort of thing, I guess.
Yeah, but that would be a joke to me. Them saying except kind of implies that
I should be making those videos.
Well, it more implies to me that this is you. They're putting this onto you. They're saying you have made these statements by not explicitly saying that you do hate them. Which then, this is what I mean. What the are they saying? Like, what is the joke? If it's a joke, are they beefing with you because, wow, he can hate everything. Even white
except
people,
minorities.
But any of them, like, huh?
Yeah, if that's the thing you get me on, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just like, yeah.
I mean, like, and then the second one, the Star of David.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think people like that make those kind of jokes can do that with anything?
Yes,
they can like draw it onto anything.
And that's the thing, because they're
all they see.
I'm sure like a lot of them are just irony, like 15-year-old teenagers that don't understand like what they're doing. But there will be people in there in those numbers that like genuinely believe this stuff. And like actually are conspiracy theorists and spread it. Some of the stuff on Twitter now is like genuinely unhinged. The dog whistling, the crazy anti-Semitism is hardcore on there.
Elon Musk has like ironically given a good reason why people shouldn't have free speech. His platform is the best example of why free speech might not be the best way of managing
when people. It comes to a platform like Twitter, it doesn't seem to work. Does it? Well, it's just inconsistent too, like how it's actually applied. I don't know. I really don't know how you pass that one, because their argument is that it used to be the inverse, like 3-4 years ago, and now we're basically in the complete inverse of that. It's just the extreme on the opposite side. Except there's a lot more anti-Semitism and like hateful, bigoted shit.
But
on
that
this side.
sort of shit is it's oppressing and limiting the speech of people who the people being discriminated against. Because why would you choose to, as someone who's gonna receive a bunch of like racist or like insensitive shit about your culture or race, go into a space where that's expected?
Yeah.
So that's like the inverse of free speech, is those people not being able to say their
because
thoughts.
that's where my mind went, was like, should I like quote tweet this and try and highlight this in some way? But then I almost feel like the Twitter as a battleground, or as a place for sharing or talking about ideas, it's not gonna happen. Like,
no, it's totally,
to me it's a lose-lose.
lose.
Yeah, there was a time, but to me that was when it was more like you were more communicating with your audience as opposed to everyone, and trying to get people who are specifically outside of your audience to get pissed at you and quote tweet you and promote engagement and replying to each other angrily.
Are you seen as a left-wing?
Well, this is what's funny, because I've been all of it over the 10 years. I've been an SJW, I've been alt-right, and I guess now I'm SJW again.
Because you don't hate minorities. That's the line now. Either like there's no spectrum. It's either alt-right, like genuine fascist, or SJW communist. Mm-hmm. You are one or the other. And if you don't say that you hate at least one minority, you are immediately thrown into SJW communist.
Yeah. Isn't that wild though? That it's like that's like innocent drawing that I drew when I was like 19 years old.
Yeah.
I've even been 18 when I drew that.
Yeah. You didn't even know what a Jew was back then.
But they would turn that into an argument for it. That's the conspiracy mind. You can like spin it into anything, any narrative. You start with the belief and just feed everything into it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a paranoid mindset. You know, if everyone's out to get me, and then you start like behaving in that way, and then people are kind of out to get you. You start acting like,
start seeing patterns and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You make your own reality, is what I say.
Mm-hmm. But like, I bring it up as an example because it's not like, obviously it involves me directly, because it's my thing, I guess. But it's not like it's not a unusual thing to see on Twitter now. Which is weird to me, and I don't know why that doesn't make more people uncomfortable, considering who owns it. It's not like a fringe 4chan thing. It's not like, it feels different. Like you'd expect to see something like that on 4chan. It's like, that's kind of where it belongs, you know? So seeing that's it on X, the one that is owned by the richest man in the world, that is the platform for free speech and stuff, and it's like, this platform is awful. It's like a lose-lose for everybody involved in it.
I think he's my most hated person on the planet.
Elon.
Yeah, I hate him. I genuinely hate him.
Yeah, he's extremely unlikable.
Because he cares so much about being liked.
Yeah.
It's all he cares about.
It's, yeah. He weirdly is Reddit as well to me. Like, he's Reddit as a human. You know? That, like, desperation for approval. That, like, lack of identity, and like all he is like me. Doge.
Yeah.
I'm the internet guy.
Yeah.
I'm that one guy who gets the internet, right? Doge. Got my meme coin. We're gonna fix the government with our Doge program.
It just fucks more shit up.
I'm with Brazil on that stuff, man. They got a correct assessment.
Brazil? On Doge?
Do you not know about what Brazil's done with X? Like, it's just illegal, banned in Brazil now, because their assessment is like, one individual should not have this much power and wealth linked to a platform this global. Like, we're crossing territory, we're crossing lines that are really weird. That is Blade Runner kind of hellscape stuff.
Let's go Brazil. Max Payne 3, baby.
I think there's like a strong argument for it. Like,
yeah,
I use it. I'm addicted to it.
Be unaddicted.
But ban it. I don't care. Just get rid of it.
That's exactly how I feel about cigarettes. Like, stop giving me them. You know?
You think? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just...
You think that would work?
Yes. What, you think I'd go find a dealer for...
Well, I don't know. I'm just kind of like, that level of misery...
What level of misery?
Of like it being taken away.
Well, no, then I
the
wouldn't have the
withdrawals
option. There'd be like the withdrawal.
You just have to put up with it.
Well, yeah, like the grumpy, being grumpy. I'd be grumpy for like a week, and I'd be but when you're in it and it's like I can walk 2 minutes,
right? Yeah,
and get a hit. It's like ban Facebook. Less radicalized old people. Ban Instagram. Less young people seeing murder on a daily basis. What? Ban Twitter. Less extremism.
The lack of like regulation as far as social media and stuff is concerned. I heard a good analogy is kind of like the way we look back at like seat belts, where at the time car companies were like, no, you don't need seatbelts. This isn't something we need.
Yeah, we're not going to impede on your freedoms.
Yeah, exactly. That was the argument, right? It was a freedom argument. We say, well, actually,
loads of dudes are dying. Loads of people.
And who now is going to be like, no, I think we shouldn't have the seatbelts in our cars. Actually, it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Let's introduce 12-year-olds to gore and the most insane pornography.
Yeah. Every child needs to watch Saw. Like,
but real. not even a movie.
And that's Twitter.
That is Twitter now. And yeah, it is like a reminder of that Wild West internet that like we were introduced to at a time where it was like
a little bit scary.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Like, you can't consent to seeing that stuff when you're like 12 years old. But like, it was just opened and everyone was just, okay. I guess we'll find out the ramifications of this in a few decades. And even then, I feel like the conversation isn't really being had or relevant or anyone really cares. It's just kind of like, well, we're just in this now, I guess. What do we do about this like direct correlation with like mental illness and misery and like kids not knowing like...
Kia has an answer.
What?
Arrest everyone. If you've been on the internet, prison.
Yeah. They say we're in a prison state, so why not just put a bow on it?
Yeah.
No, it might fix the housing crisis too. Like just a prison island, like Australia originally, but like...
Yeah. Switcheroo.
Yeah. You know what? Why not?
It already is a fucking prison.
Yeah.
Like, no one can make enough money to get the fuck out.
Yeah, so I don't know if I made any point from all that, but
Twitter bad.
Twitter bad, anti-Semitism bad, the rise in it weird.
What?
The rise in it.
Oh. Yeah.
I haven't seen it like this in my lifetime. It's very
but
weird.
the rise in open racism, the rise in
just the dog whistling. Yeah, it's not even just anti-Semitism. It's
not even dog whistling anymore, though. Go on YouTube. Like, you'll get to a short that has, like, something where it's, like, dude steals a PS5.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then read the fucking comments.
Yeah.
It's crazy. People just, like, regurgitating shit that Steven Crowder says.
Mm-hmm.
Which is openly racist, awful fucking shit. And you see it with anti-Semitism, you see it with... I mean, I feel like since Andrew Tate has been more officially imprisoned, the misogyny stuff has kind of taken a dip. Because people are like, oh, the rampantly misogynistic, braggadocious pimp turned out to be a pimp. Who, like, assaulted...
That is the platforming argument, and that's kind of what people are upset about with Elon bringing all these people back. Tommy Robinsons and Fuentes's and stuff. It's like they're smothered without the platform. It's like, what? Some people they don't deserve it with some of their beliefs. They're it's the intolerance paradox thing we're talking about.
Yeah, I totally believe now that ideas are, like, ridiculously dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, being when I was young, the way my mind could be swayed by a convincing, confident person.
Yeah, because we're not
speaking.
Truth seekers.
Yeah.
As humans, we're not.
Yeah. We're like
we just look for patterns that fit into the thing we already believe.
That's but also, like, if it's coming from a person who has a charisma to them,
an authority,
and is like an entertaining personality, we're more inclined to believe the bullshit that they're saying.
And it doesn't even need to, like, make sense what they're saying. If just if they're just saying it in the right way,
that's the phenomenal
if the crowd
thing.
is engaged with it, if they're getting responses from people, like, what the words even say don't even matter at a certain point. That's what's scariest about it to me.
It's no, I'm not going to say the F word.
So, but how would you counter then? Because I'm sure to somebody who believes these things, who are happier that now Twitter is the free speech platform and that it's no longer the left-leaning SJW anti-free speech nightmare, and now we're in the prime, and we're just being sensitive and we can't take a joke, and I'm just trying to think what would be the I guess it's a, like, free speech absolutism sort of argument, or like that. I mean, why it's fundamentally better for all these people to be back.
You only have to point at the, like, riots in our country.
Uh-huh.
Where did that
get
where were the
from bringing back Tommy?
Yeah. And stuff like everything in America, all the headline shit.
That's my issue with it. Is it's like a big American company with Elon at the top. The power isn't, like, diffused enough for, like, the power of the messaging. You hear what I'm saying? Like, for a platform that big to be controlled by such, like, it's an individual. It's not right. You need, like, a board that, like, breaks down the power instead of this one person at the top who was, like, he got upset, for example, about a Joe Biden video that got more views than his announcement of the same thing.
He adjusted.
So he got the Twitter engineers to make it so that couldn't happen again. Yeah. And it's like, you're the richest man in the world. You have a level of power that no one should have. That should be allowed to have.
He's addicted to his own app.
Yeah. But, like, that, don't know why more people aren't like freaked out by that.
I think right-wing people don't give a shit because he aligns with them.
He's engineered it so he
everyone
gets the
else,
most
like-
engagement and appears in like everybody's feed, I guess, unless you block him. And the stuff he is spreading is political in nature.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a paid interest that is weighted a certain way, and that's going to influence elections. And well, not just politics worldwide, like attitudes worldwide.
Yeah.
If it like translates into the real world and like infects the real world, because that seems to be like a real disconnect with like that early internet, where it didn't feel real. It didn't feel like it was it was a separate
there
place.
was a disconnect.
Where it
for
doesn't
sure.
feel like that anymore. It feels like real life is like almost dictated by this like crazy stuff that's shared online.
Yeah. Harambe. He broke the barrier.
That's the point where it crossed over.
He was the final Horcrux of like the
keeping everything balanced.
the boundary between reality and internet horse shit, and he died and fucking it all became blurred. But yeah, I mean, like let's say back in 1930 or so, let's say Hitler got banned off Twitter. Would everything that happened would have happened? I beg to differ.
Now we're getting deep.
But genuinely, like that like a movement like that comes from a person spreading an infectious idea. You know, so if you just if Elon Musk, the richest guy in the world, owning like a giant social media, he ushers in someone like Nick Fuentes.
Yeah.
Like that.
But I don't know if I have if I'm able to even verbalize it, but it feels anti-free speech what he's doing. That someone who truly believes in free speech would not platform themselves in that. Yeah, exactly. Whereas, like, because that's, I feel like, another argument when people, they get very sensitive when you say you're not a free speech absolutist or this kind of thing. Whereas I do think, like, freedom of expression and free speech is extremely important. But, like, they just prop it up in this way. Where it's like, oh, well, I guess we're fine with this rampant, just worst thing you've seen ever. Horrible ideas that, like, there's no positive way to spin it. There's no, like, goodness to come from it. And then it goes back to that tolerance, you know.
Yeah, but it, like I think freedom of speech is like a myth. Like it doesn't exist anywhere. It can't. Like, what does it even mean? Like when someone says freedom of speech, is it like I'm allowed to say whatever I can?
You're allowed to say anything, as long as it's not inciting violence. You're allowed to say it and won't be punished for it.
But there's already a like a restriction there, and then like
with the violence.
Yeah, and then restrictions going beyond if you publicly start spreading that like Coke has poison in it, and that catches on enough, then you can be sued for that. Like, and legally, then you're culpable. Like, there's already so many boundaries to freedom of speech. We just have an issue when we can't say the N-word. Like, that's the argument on like Elon Musk's argument. It's like, I can say edgy shit. It's like, well, but if someone says some bullshit about you, then you can sue them and like fuck their life.
Or change the algorithm to a thing you don't.
Yeah, or just ban them off your social media. Like, it doesn't work both ways. It almost feels inherently top down. So at least the Kia bullshit, like it's coming direct from the government when he's arresting people for doing shit that like I'm against anyway, and I think a society should be against anyway. So yeah, that's the line. I don't
to
really
me,
see a problem.
Where you have to choose when to be intolerant to intolerance, right? That's the paradox we're talking about.
Yeah, Yeah,
that
and
line
like
is...
you can say like it's a slippery slope.
Yeah, because that's the fear, obviously, is like, oh, you give... When the government is choosing what is legal and what isn't legal, then you can... To say, then you can keep restricting speech to a degree where then suddenly you find that you can't protest the government or whatever.
Yeah. And I'll agree with that when it actually impedes on something that shouldn't be impeded on.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like maybe it's already gone far enough where I don't see that the boundary's been crossed, so I never see like...
Well, that boundary is pretty much defined by the country you were raised in, like the beliefs of that country.
Yeah.
Or...
But I mean, like, rampant open racism and like just hatred for like each other.
And it's like the edgy humor thing where it's like, okay, yes, it's the same joke every single time. Is that, and it's always that. It's always pointing at that. Like, is there anything else? Any other observation?
It's a crutch. It's something to fall back on for these actual racists. So when they're called out on it, oh no, it's not. Like I'm not actually racist. I'm just like making an edgy
just
joke.
Asking questions.
Yeah, it's that is a dog whistle.
I'm just asking questions.
Yeah, that's the I'm just asking questions, or it's just a joke, because like there's only one kind of person laughing at that stuff. You know, and they're the people who are either already like set deep within the pipeline or at the beginning of it.
Because I remember like when I must have been like 16 or whatever, and found out about 4chan and went on it. And I guess I assumed it was like a satire website, because that's like what it says like in the print and whatnot. And you're like, oh, this is like this is a dream for a 16-year-old. It's like edgy humor, violence, whatever. And then like I must have gone on a humor thread or whatever, and then seen like, wait a minute. Like, you're not joking, huh? There's no joke going on here.
Yeah.
Like you...
But they would have started at the same point.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just go deeper and deeper, I guess.
And
you start believing... But that's what's crazy, is like, that jump of like, going from, oh, this is real. This is a social infection that's changing people, you know what I mean? Like the conspiracy theory stuff, when it gets like really intense, and then you get like Aiden Ross watching like 9/11 conspiracy videos on... Sorry, I think I'm getting him confused with Leafy, but you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, there's definitely crossed wires there with like conspiracy theories and like a anti-Semitism, racism, any intolerant group.
We'll just say funnels towards any
white supremacy, like
creating replacement theories and all this shit.
Yeah, and it always starts off as like a joke. Because it's exactly how, like, I think Dave Rubin, Mr. What do they call him? Dave Rubel. He in the period when I was like a late teenager, only just getting into politics, like incredibly susceptible, and he started off just coming out of that show that Chanka's on.
Young Turks.
Young Turks, I'm pretty sure he started.
Yeah, you're right. He was there.
He just came off that, and he was like, "I'm just a left-wing guy. I'm
a classical liberal. Everyone else is crazy."
I didn't think he'd reached that point yet. He wasn't even saying that. Maybe he was, but it meant something else then. And he was like, "I'm just gonna talk to everyone and like be reasonable and blah blah blah." And, like the intellectual dark web was born. Yeah, but he took you on a journey, because I started watching his videos thinking like, yeah, I kind of align with this guy, and then he just went down this dark rabbit hole when like when he's like eating fucking Ben Shapiro's ass. Well, Ben Shapiro's taking a shit all over him.
Yeah.
Like it got to points like that where I was like, wait a minute, like, why didn't I stop this a long time ago? Because these, like, I
and there's this, it's this thing I've noticed from, like, just, I guess, being alive so long with YouTube and seeing these trends come and go. There's this type of content, and Dave Rubin is an awesome example of it, where it's like, they have this conversation where they act like it's the conversation they need to be having, that we need to be having. But the conversation is just them saying about how important that conversation is for like an hour. And it's like, what about this thing we can't talk about anymore? Oh man, like, I agree with you, man. That's crazy. We can't talk about that anymore. And then what about this other thing that, like, you know, and it just goes in circles, like just jerking each other off about how they're having this really important conversation. But then, like, when you actually like tally at the end, like what's been talked about, it's like, well, I guess I'm a classical liberal too, huh?
Yeah.
It's crazy. But then, like, I was like late teens, and I guess you would have been like mid-teens, like being introduced to that stuff, and like only just making it out the other side, you know, like just dodging, like getting a few strays, like Neo, like on the way with this like radicalization software that's been funneled to everybody. But then what about the people that like never have that moment of like, wait, what am I being shown? Like, what am I supposed to be taking away from these things that I'm reading, that are being said to me, that are being joked about?
Yeah.
Where does this lead? It's psycho, and it's like,
it makes you wonder, like, what would it have taken for me to have been just sucked that bit deeper into the pipeline, where I couldn't, like, where I was too far, or at least far enough where I'd still be in it now.
Yeah. Where do you put the blame for this as well? Because I see all these, like, these crowders and whatnot. They're almost more like a symptom of something.
Yeah. I think it's systematic and cultural. Like, the system definitely rewards these people. Yeah.
Well, that's why I go back to, like, the Silicon Valley people that designed it.
Yeah.
They made it. They made this problem.
They had no idea that, like, it was like, well, we're going to make this amazing thing that, like, just gives you what you want to see. Like, the stuff that you engage with the most. Like, obviously, you want more of that.
But that's when the seatbelt thing comes in, where it's like, what we instinctually want is bad.
Yeah,
we want what's easy.
It's also not what we actually want, because we engage with conflict more than like anything.
Yeah, of course.
So when you see some shit, and that was definitely part of why it blew up so big early on, and there was kind of an edgy, like, you know what, these guys are well spoken, they're making sense, and they're kind of against the grain.
It's like a counterculture thing.
Yeah,
you want, especially when you're a teenager,
like,
you're like,
yeah, and it felt almost punk, like.
The intellectual dark web.
yeah. I mean, that name is so perfect. And it, it's all settled down over the past few years, and it's been like these.
For us, but I feel like that cycle started again with like the 15-year-olds.
I'm sure it always will. Maybe it always has.
But it's like to a next level. We didn't have like Andrew Tate, people doing that.
Yeah,
it wasn't because it wasn't refined to like that art that he had it to, where it's like his minions spreading his voice and whatnot. It's like you don't even need to. I mean,
it's impossible without the internet, and he didn't even need the minions. You know, he was rich off of being a pimp.
Yeah,
it was pure ego that sent him like online.
Yeah, because that's the thing. It's like once you have the money, it's the same. Loads of big streamers that are like so rich, it's like, because the influence is the valuable bit at the end. That's the bit they get addicted to, that they want to hold on to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why else would they do it? Like, what? And that's whole Andrew Tate's entire downfall is the fact that he was willing to brag about all this dumb shit he did.
Yeah.
If he just held his tongue, he probably could have got away with it, like all the other like silent millionaires that probably made their money doing horrific shit that you just don't know about.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? How we get there? What?
Dave Rubin, Dave Rubel. Did Andrew Tate get money from Russia?
Not sure. Not sure. But yeah, today's sponsor is Russia Today.
We should record some new like shirt adverts and like do a fake Russian voice for the whole thing, like speaking Russian. Just a message from our sponsors. No stroy.
But the fact that like that, because that's been like I guess like a theory, a game theory for a while, like these bots and like these Russian interference on social media and whatnot. But that when there's like more and more evidence of it,
it turns out it's just real.
Yeah, and these weird bots that like scrape Reddit posts from like 2012 and stuff. It's really creepy. It makes you question like how much of the internet is just this weird like scraping, reposting, just AI stuff.
Yeah, dead internet theory, right?
Because that was already bad before AI bots were doing stuff, right? Like the dead internet theory was already a theory, let alone when you add in the the robots that can do it so efficiently.
Yeah,
to such a high. I don't know.
If logically, it seems like if it keeps going in this direction, that there's going to be a point where you just have to log off. Like all people, like will just have to revert because everything you read, like the majority,
Nothing will be real.
Fake.
Yeah, we basically. I think that's the only way we fix it is by getting there. We have to ruin it. Like it's been enshitted. Like it's already
the enshittening has
the
begun.
best things we're gonna get from it. We've got right. So now we need to just
we got Keyboard Cat. We got Charlie Bit My Finger.
Skibbity Toilet right at the end there.
Yeah.
You know, there was like a few years there where things were just awesome. You know, and that Panda video is pretty good. Chipmunk.
Which one?
Classic.
The panda falling.
Yeah. The gopher.
Yeah, dramatic look.
The real stuff. Old school Boogie. Splashing.
Boogie with the Guitar Hero guitar. Fuck, yeah.
I always go back to that splash.
Pre-cancer Boogie.
All of it is pre-cancer Boogie. Yeah. Any more on that one before we go to mid-break? It's been kind of a long one, but we can do a little bit of questions when we come back if you're okay with that.
Yeah. I just want to iterate that I am incredibly right-wing.
Oh yeah, if that hasn't been clear.
Yeah. So don't send your Crowder and Shapiro goons after us. We're one of you.
Yeah, we're with Russia Today too.
Yeah. We've been making so much ruble.
Oh yeah.
These walls are stuffed with ruble. Many ruble.
Sprinkling ruble. It's an edible currency.
Herbal ruble.
It's the first edible currency, I'll say.
I call that a meal ticket.
Yeah.
Jar Media shirts now, or I'm gonna hurt you. Description below.
Yeah.
Boo shot him in the head.
Burger Bear is dead. Well, there's a puppy down the well. Well, there's a puppy that's called Well that has fallen down the well. Well. Yeah, man.
Do you ever have moments just like that?
Well, you just have to. The only thing that you can do is just look up and go, "Why me?" Have you ever done that? Have you ever actually gone, "Why?" Or
no?
No.
No. Perhaps.
It doesn't really have the same ring.
Maybe.
Are we?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've only done it when I've really wanted to understand something and I said it as in KNOW. No.
I don't know.
Yeah. Or I want to. No.
Yeah. I feel like there's a whole field of exploration there. Like just that movie shot, you're on top of the skyscraper, you're on the cliff edge, and you just let it rip. You just yeah. Then you want to run, scream off like a cliff.
I think I might if I was there. You know?
I want to start an avalanche with Run. Yeah.
What if there's like a skier?
A cataclysmic avalanche that destroys an entire mountain town because they didn't run fast enough. You know?
You warned them.
I warned them, but the warning also was the threat.
Yeah.
Pretty clever in that way.
You could
huh?
make a whole movie about that.
The warning was the threat. That's the tagline.
Yeah, the name Run. Run. The warning was the threat.
That right there is exactly how the Kevin Smith film Tusk was made.
Yeah.
On his podcast.
Wow, yeah. Only difference is we don't have access to Ben Affleck.
Yeah. Not yet. I guess, yeah, this is part of the show. We head over to the suggestion thread over on the subreddit, on that knee-slapping subreddit. Have you ever done that? When something's funny, like, gone, you know what, that is a little knee slap.
No, I value my knee health.
When you hear a good Yogi Bear is dead, you know, doesn't that just make you wanna...
Yeah, in that context, yeah. Who shot him in the
well, Miniature Runny says bear, Jar.
Bear.
From your memory, what are the worst Jar moments or episodes? Moments that make you wince or look back on with absolute abject, overwhelming, true disgust. Disgust.
Every time I said...
Yeah, just anything that's like a real reflection of its time. In 2016, 17, 18.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
In particular.
Also, when I said, there's no way Donald Trump is winning.
Did you say that?
I said, I was, it was like, duh. Like I was writing South Park or something. Like,
yeah.
There's just no way.
Yeah, I'm sure there's so many of those there.
Maybe in hindsight, the toilet paper thing?
What toilet paper? Oh, the cut around COVID, you mean?
Yeah, like I understand the audience being kind of annoyed.
Yeah, I do as well.
But it was...
I wouldn't change that though, personally. I think that's fine.
Yeah, because it was like a miracle. You know, we could do that joke without actually depriving anyone because you'd had that toilet paper.
We could do that exact same joke right now.
Really?
That's how much toilet paper I have.
Do you still have that much?
Yes.
What the fuck? Are you just terrified that someday you're gonna like do that wipe?
It's
I
don't know. I guess it's like a deep-rooted insecurity of mine. It makes me feel secure to just know that, like, if I had Rhea that bad, you know, like, I'm good.
Yeah.
And that's kind of
I don't
reassuring
know if
to me.
anyone's ever had Rhea that bad. Bad enough to have to use all the toilet paper in this house.
I don't know, man. Better safe than sorry is all I say,
Yeah.
as far as that stuff's concerned.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, that was one of the times where I was like, you know what? This is exactly why I'm right to do this crazy shit, you know? Like, and the one time it's like, finally, it was worthwhile buying all this paper. Yeah, I don't really have anything too crazy. Because for me, it's like, once it's out, then it's gone. And I don't even remember what I said. So is it even real?
I feel that way a lot of the time as well. Like what? I don't know what I said.
Yeah, I can tell you. You could tell me something I did say 100 episodes ago, and I'll say, no, I didn't.
Yeah, and then
'Cause
you're
I didn't.
safe. Yeah. Well, yeah, like current me, I didn't say that.
Yeah, I don't stand by. Who is that?
Yeah.
A fragment of a whisper once past.
Beautifully put. 100%.
John Zibley too says, will we see an "Are Cigars as good as they say" video anytime soon? The people of the Jar Republic need to know the truth.
Could be a controversial one.
We're a Jar monarchy as well, correct yourself. I would say the second we start, well, we probably have to do some research so we know what to say about cigars for a start. I know we give off the impression that we're smoking those 1,000-pound cigars every weekend, but, well, the truth is, it was the same box of cigars for like 2 years, maybe?
If not longer.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, they last.
They last.
They wipe you out for a good, like, month.
I think, yeah. And only once or twice, maybe 5, let's say 5 times have I smoked a cigar not on the cast.
Okay.
And there was a question I didn't screen cap that was like, have you felt that urge? And I haven't with cigars, as far as like that thing you talk about, whereas when you buy that first pack, it's like that's a sign, you know, as far as cigs. I haven't had it with gars, but I have had it with the mini gars, cigarillos or whatever.
Right, okay.
I've had that. I had
That
it
makes
a few
sense.
weeks ago. I had it really bad where I was like, the day was coming to an end. It was like 7 p.m. The sun was going down. It was like nice. Sun was out. There was a slight breeze in the air. I was like, I really want one of those little cigars right now. I really want one. I really want one.
And you didn't get one?
But I didn't. But I thought like
Lame.
it would, in minutes, I could have one in my hands.
I don't think you'd be at risk, though.
You think I'd be safe with that one?
Yeah. Because, like, that's not like a nicotine withdrawal.
No, but there's also, I don't know, it's almost like an admittance. Like,
There's a psychological bit at play.
yeah, you don't want to be like, it felt to me like putting my hands up like, well, add this one to the cards then, I guess. Like,
yeah.
but I didn't. Doesn't mean I won't now.
Well, I mean, don't.
Yeah. I think that's a bad
Yeah.
reason for wanting to do it.
I think,
know what I'm saying?
because if then you associate that moment, the sun going down, you know, end of the day, right, it's time for my gar. Then it becomes routine,
Yeah.
and then
But
maybe one isn't enough. Maybe
that's the thing,
sun's
because that's
taken a
what's
while
cool
to go down.
in Disco Elysium, amazing game. The side character, his like one of his quirks is that he has one cigarette every day, and it's like the last thing he does before bed is have his one cigarette when he's like decompressing at the end of the day. If you got that level of discipline, I feel like one cigarette a day is not gonna like drastically change your lifespan or anything. One. And like apart from that, he's like, that's his vice, just one cigarette a day.
I wouldn't recommend it.
No. But if that's the thing, if like, this is one vice, he's healthy otherwise.
He doesn't drink. He doesn't eat Cadbury's.
Hmm?
He doesn't eat Nestle.
Yeah, especially Nestle.
I love Nestle munchies.
Yeah, but not the disgusting variant.
Huh?
Huh?
What do you mean?
No, we'll just get lost down a whole different pipeline.
No,
if we
what's
go
the
down.
disgusting variant? I have to know.
You know, idiot gimmick flavour.
Which one? The like crunchy one?
No,
The
it's like
fudge
cookie
one?
dough or something. Nah, it's nothing compared to OG.
OG wins. Yeah, but sometimes.
Nah, there's no room for that. It never replaces. But I told you we get lost down this. Now I've forgotten what we're talking about. I knew munchies would get in the way. They always do.
I have one munchie a night.
To decompress when the sun is setting.
Yeah. I gotta have my munchie.
Loptical has one I probably should put in housekeeping, but it does relate to house. More of a house cleaning question, Teehee, but I'll put it here anyway. Randy was 100% correct in that Dr. Gregory House, MD, is based on Sherlock Holmes, the first episode directed by Bryan Singer, featuring a teacher and all her students, is centered around Miss Adler. Irene Adler made Sherlock Holmes respect women, and the ending is similar to Holmes faking his death. There's lots of similarities, such as them both being drug addicts, playing instruments really well, and plenty more. And then Cockalulu corrected them, saying, "You are mistaken, that was not Randy. It was his brother, Alex."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just a bit of a correction there, but
A
otherwise...
bit of the Moriarty to your Sherlock. Okay.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Sherlock can suck.
No, like the character Sherlock Holmes, cool. The BBC show Sherlock, not cool.
House, cool.
House, cool. Even Robert Downey Jr. as Sherlock, kind of cool.
Stupid.
Stupid, but cooler than the BBC one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you like the books? That character is cool. He's a good character. He's like a classic character.
Yeah. But I don't care.
It's like Pinocchio or something.
I don't give a shit. You know what?
Who's
I wanna
cooler?
see? Out of
Sherlock Holmes or Pinocchio? Who's more badass?
House.
Which would be more hype to... Okay, would it be more hype if in Sherlock Holmes a portal opened and Pinocchio came in? Or in Pinocchio a portal opened as Sherlock Holmes and Watson came in? Which is more hype? Which is more... This is cinema.
I think it would be more hype if it was the intro to a House episode. And the person getting ill at the beginning was Pinocchio coming in being like, I need to become a real boy, I'm sick of this, you know, and then House is to figure out how to make him a real boy.
Yeah. Oh, and it'd be so good. Like, you could do so much with House and the portals. Like, just a portal opens and it's like, I've got Grayscale from Game of Thrones, from HBO's Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Shit.
Oh, you could do it, and then there could be like a multiverse episode where it's like Robert Downey coming in, Benedict Cumberbatch coming in.
Yeah, Rick from The Walking Dead. I've been bit. Get my lumbar puncture and an IV drip.
This is a show.
Yeah.
This
Bring him back.
is a
Bring
show.
him out of retirement. Let's go. You know, this is exactly how the movie Tusk was made.
Worst film ever made, Tusk, of which I still see, like, it's one of those TikTok films where like it gets like mentioned, like, you have got to see this freaky
Really?
one. This one, a man.
It
gets
did make
turned
me
into a
feel quite
walrus.
uncomfortable. I don't like that sort of body horror.
I like it.
Cause the little one, cause the little one.
Let's do a couple more here. Right, I should probably show you this because I mentioned Grammy earlier in the episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
His post explaining my thought process in birthing Hawk to a Deadpool. You mistakenly immediately wrote this idea off with your initial disgust at the phrase Hawk Tour, but I genuinely think that this is a worthy and necessary continuation of the hot girl booty Spider-Man ethos. I think both of these terms are becoming irrelevant at this juncture, so the time may have passed, but I would encourage you to reflect on any currently booming sexually charged phrases and popular superhero characters. Trust me, there will be. And when the time is right, you will have the perfect concoction of engagement bait that made Hot Girl Booty Spider-Man your 35th most viewed video. And if you wanted to take this idea further, the first and third most popular videos on the Human Born Fresh YouTube channel are about the Nostalgia Critic, those videos being the worst movie review on YouTube and is the Nostalgia Critic as cringe as they say. If you take away anything from this, it's important to preserve the legacy of average jokes and riff on them and beat the dead horse until the milk runs dry. Feel free to ignore this if you do read this, but make a post. But I did make a post with a selection of potential thumbnails that I'd like to hear your thoughts on, if possible. Maybe I'll just show you one or two here just so you get a general idea what he's conceptualizing. So he's put the work in. Quite like that one. So yeah.
Wow.
Thoughts?
This goes on to something. I mean, to be honest, and not many people in this position would say this, but I think this gentleman, what was his name?
Grammy.
Gentry.
Yeah.
Gentry, I think you should start a YouTube channel. I think you should do this yourself.
Do
you know
Still give us all your free ideas, but also do your thing.
Yeah, do your own ones. Keep the faucet with a little drip. People get thirsty.
Oh, they get bloody thirsty. And speaking of thirsty, Radiohead's All Bums pen says, "Hey, ever watched Panic at the Disco's cover of Karma Police from Radiohead? If so, what do you think about it? What's your opinion on both artists?"
I haven't seen it and it sucks.
I haven't seen
Disco.
it. I'm scared of hearing that.
I hate Panic at the Disco. Is that Brendan Urie?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
He is 3D printed.
He's 3D printed and his voice is 3D printed.
He's got a 3D printed voice.
Yeah, I hate him. Oh, he sucks. He fucking sucks. I hate that guy. I don't hate him as a person. I hate him as a representation of what I hate.
He was like a alien queen laid him. You know, he's got that vibe.
He's like an alien cross predator. I don't like him. His cover of Bohemian Rhapsody made me. It radicalized me for a period. Not a fan. Whereas Radiohead rock.
Live in Denver, Karma Police by Panic at the Disco.
That was cruel. That
Holy
felt really
shit.
nasty.
It's like
Just watching that.
oil in water. You know?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Mm.
What a horrible combination. The opposite of like peanut butter and jelly. You know?
Mm. Have you ever had the fuck? Have you ever had peanut butter and jelly?
No, of course I haven't. I'm not fucking American.
Yeah, these are fucking relevant.
What do we are Americans. Like, what do we eat? We have our sort of
Potatoes.
jelly. No,
Jelly's different. I love jelly.
What do we call it?
Jam?
Jam.
Peanut butter jam.
Yeah, I like get a knife and I go between my toes and then I scrape whatever that is all over my bread with a bit of peanut and then I get my American flag and I wave it. And that's how I know Brendan Urie has talent.
Is Brendan Urie British or American?
He's American, isn't he?
Oh, thank fuck.
No, but bro, we used to have some cool British pop stars, but who have we got left? Who? Meghan Trainor.
Ooh.
Huh? Ed Sheeran. Sam Smith.
Sam Smith fucking
We got
sucks.
Charlie at least. Thank Christ do we have Charlie. But that's it.
Yeah, but who?
Of course Charlie is carrying the flag. God. Who else is there? Who is the... I guess Radiohead are kind of kicking? The Smilers?
Yeah, there's no one.
You know?
No one good.
No one on like the level of like a Queen. David Bowie. You know?
I mean, when's the last time we had a David Bowie?
I don't know.
Because
David
I
Bowie.
mean, like, what do you mean? Because Ed Sheeran was like the biggest artist in the world for years.
But like... It's Ed Sheeran. It's not cool like Queen or David
Yeah,
Bowie.
well, but like, just because you don't like them, like, you have to give him credit that he was fucking huge.
I guess, but so's Drake.
We can agree that Ed Sheeran is better than Drake.
Yes. But, just like Prometheus and Mass Effect 3, both suck.
Yeah, but again, one sucks more.
Is Drake the engineer or is Ed Sheeran the engineer in this situation?
Drake is the Reaper. Ed Sheeran is
In more ways than one.
Ed Sheeran is Fassbender.
So Ed Sheeran is Michael Fassbender, and Drake
Is Ed Sheeran.
Dude. We've got two more here before we wrap up. No Title 514 says, given the recent release of the brand new cinematic masterpiece and comedic genius documentary, Am I a Racist? From the author Matt Walsh. It reminds me that Alex logged his previous classic, What is a Woman? But didn't rate it on Letterboxd. Did Alex enjoy seeing Matt Walsh destroy those woke moralists? Or did he see it for the true death of intellectualism, the film that Matt Walsh's perspective truly was? I didn't really rate it on Letterboxd because it felt more like rating like an SJW owned compilation or something, you know? That's what it was more to me. So,
Do you, as far as they go, was it a good one?
I didn't take notes while watching it, I have to admit. I remember very little about it.
You liked it though, didn't you?
It was just hype, obviously. I find him very smug and annoying. And then, like a month after that documentary came out, he went on like Joe Rogan and was humiliated with that stats thing. Where it's like, what? You just made a documentary about this subject, and you don't really need anything else beyond that. And yeah, this new one. It's like he's just making these provocative movies to piss people off, and then like.
It's part of it. What we were saying before.
Yeah.
It's that.
Well, people they're calling him the Borat like of the right. So we'll see. Yeah, because like on the Daily Wire, whatever they upload, like the most ultimate undercover actor of our time, Matt Walsh. Here he is. It's like it's.
The power of having a thick beard and a deep voice.
So you're kind of dumb, right?
I mean, I guess. I mean, what can you expect from a Welshman?
What?
Matt Welsh.
Oh right, okay. Yeah, but
have
you considered that men are women and women are men?
Do women have balls?
Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, I watched it and I thought it was fucking sick. No, I've not watched it, and I've seen a few clips, and yeah, I guess I assumed that there was more to it than just those bits where he's like saying basically what I just said. Do women have balls?
Mm-hmm.
What's a woman? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't seem the most educational, I guess I'd say.
And definitely fair.
He's would you say he's definitely not going into it with his mind already made? Would you say he's definitely not doing that?
Well, I don't even know what he says, so I can't do at least with Jordan, we've got those woke moralist,
catchphrases.
Cultural Marxist. What does Matt say?
Oh, what's that other Peterson one?
Peterson's got so many.
He always goes to that one.
You're bloody right. He loves saying bloody.
Yeah, it's really weird. Is that a Canadian thing?
When he's getting serious, the bloody comes out.
Yeah.
You better bloody take this seriously.
You had a little Peterson laugh there.
Because it always comes back to bloody.
What? Oh,
bloody.
What the fuck?
Take it bloody seriously.
What is that one that he says? You're gonna have to move on because
that could be the ultimate project. Like, create a character where the whole point of the character is to convince the Daily Wire to like hire you as like a Matt Walsh type talking head, but like the whole time you were in character,
and then you come out of
doing
character.
bloody,
and
then once you're in, then you let the character go while you're like working on a Matt Walsh documentary, a double agent, making your own documentary halfway through his documentary.
The thing is, how do you know you won't get lost in the source?
That could be part of it, you know.
No, but like
that's how Alex Jones began, right?
Yeah. But like you're doing it, and then like the accent is becoming more and more.
You're like looking in the mirror, going bloody, bloody.
It just becomes natural, and then suddenly you're seeing the money piling from Russia, and you're
bloody,
like, bloody. And yeah,
it's Trojan a bloody.
Yeah, suddenly it's it all just feels right.
And then you tried to do an impression of Jordan Peterson, but your voice just is Peterson's voice, and that's all you know.
Do you think he's ever looked in the mirror and gone bloody?
In a perfect British accent.
Yeah.
Bloody fuck.
Yeah. I wonder if any of them at this point did start off that way. Like
Looking in the mirror.
I'm gonna infiltrate. I'm on the right.
Yeah, I'm doing this for the right reasons. I'm gonna do an expose when I'm through with all of this.
Fuck me, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be a whistleblower when this is all said and done. Gang. Yeah. Cartoonish thing. Eyes turning into dollar signs. Yeah. Then all of a sudden, your beliefs don't mean much.
Yeah. They're bought and paid for.
By the Geek Cave. Nah. I was going to do one more, but it's too big. I don't know.
Make one up.
Skibbity writes in this. When you look in the mirror, do you say bloody or do you...